What dirty little secret is Shoto and Endeavor hiding? Do you know you love the drama from this My Hero Academia family? Let's find out more about them. So blast that like with ice or fire and subscribe. My non-spoiler review on the third My Hero Academia movie is up, by the way. And a thank you to Keeps for returning as a sponsor. Did you know 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time that they're 35? You may have even heard some of these hair loss rumors. Oh, it's from enjoying the summer sun. You're shampooing too much. Or hey, it's just due to having naturally high testosterone. Thankfully, all of this has been disproven. Seriously, keep on showering, especially right now. We all know that family member or best bud who's dealing with hair loss. You feel for them, especially if they're not even close to 35 yet. And the good news is that you don't have to wait for it to happen to you. Keeps helps you stop hair loss before it's too late. They give you access to their scientific and affordable approach to treatments, which are up to 90% effective at reducing and stopping further hair loss. Keeps actually offers the generic version of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products, which means this is proven stuff. That's right, you can order online stress-free, delivered straight to your door. Do you have any questions? The Keeps Doctor is available 24/7 for you. So if you're ready to get proactive and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/foxandanime or click that link in the description down below to get 50% off your first order. Kicking this off with your favorite Shoto. His name is actually made with the combination of characters meaning to burn, scorch, to char, and to freeze. Forget about not being subtle. And I'm sure you're wondering about the family name, Todoroki. The character for it means to roar. It's used in words like a thundering sound, a detonation, anything explosive like. Hey, Bakugo could fit perfectly here. Bakugo, how about hitting up their sister? Looking at Shoto appearance-wise, the first thing that immediately stands out is the different hair color. Alongside that is also the different eye color. And of course that scarring, which may actually remind you of something not anime-like. Taking a step back, you actually do notice quite a progression, which has followed Shoto's development, going from an all-white suit, half of it being quite frosty, eventually switching to the current blue with the shoulder vest that you're familiar with. The latest getup being fire resistant. A little bit later, Shoto even upgraded to armbands to help him regulate his temperature. Same for the vest. Plus some goodies with his utility belt. Batman would be proud. He's gained snow boots to help him maneuver in his own ice. With Shoto's latest upgrade, he's actually now looking closer to his old man. Notice the design in the middle, plus those power gloves. And of course, fairly recently, I do have to mention the all-black suit. Movie only. Oh yes, did someone say new figure? But seriously, it looks like Shoto's about to join the Fire Force guys. Anyway, let's talk about his super moves. Heaven-piercing ice wall. Like the name suggests, Shoto makes a colossal wall made out of ice cream. It almost feels like this overpowered isekai ability since he completely beats the opponent with it. Or how about using it to separate his foes? Or just block anything coming your way? The only real drawback to this is perhaps a massive stamina usage. But also don't forget about the sheer area of effect reached to it. Better control it or Deku could quickly become a popsicle. Wall of Flame. Pretty much the fire version of Shoto's frosty super move. It could also be used defensively to split the area, or go all out and roast anyone into juicy KFC. It's funny because any of these heroes would kill to have one of these overpowered abilities, and Shoto has both of them. Flash Freeze Heat Wave, finally combining ice and fire into one. You got Shoto freezing the area around him and his victim, then unleashing the superheated blast. Deku got a taste of this. Fortunately for that guy, he has some shonen plot armor. The Flash Fire Fist. Like father like son, Shoto's really copying his papa's signature move. You got him burning at the plus ultra limit, then blasting this compressed shot at some unlucky bastard. Flash Fire Fist Jet Kindling. Pretty much V2. You got Shoto putting everything into his fist and punching the opponent. The fire explosion severely burns the target. Thankfully, Shigaraki has been on the receiving end when Shoto first unleashed this. You really do have Shoto coming a long way. He originally hated the thought of using his father's side, literally his physical fire inheritance. Look at how the guy hit himself encased in ice, going for that Cylon look. As for limitations or restrictions, for his fire side, don't do that in the water or when it's raining. But just like his papa, Shoto does have to keep tabs on how hot he actually gets internally, which thankfully is much easier to regulate using his ice quirk. And of course, Shoto has gotten better at it, but he still has to practice on how to actually use both of the quirks at the same time. As for popularity wise, in Japan, no surprise this guy is part of the big 3. He's always been a fan favorite. Over the years, he's placed 2nd and 3rd in the My Hero Academia popularity polls. And you're not going to be surprised to hear this. I constantly see Shoto merch in anime shops here. Next up, Endeavor, real name Enji. The name made from 2 characters of fire, and commander or ruler of something. Talking about names being super obvious, you have the hero name Endeavor. This literally is a reference to his years of effort. All that blood and sweat he's poured into trying to catch up to All Might. Here's a fun fact, this guy's just over 6 feet. Although honestly, I thought this guy would be 7+, given how awfully thick he looks. He's also 46 years old, which you shouldn't be surprised about given how many kids he has. Of course, Endeavor right now is the #1 hero. Officially anyway. And can we talk about that scar? I've always personally loved that. And I'm sure the ladies do too. I mean, personality-wise, hell, just visually, Endeavor has always given off the complete opposite vibe compared to the ex-top dog, All Might. Visually, this adds more to it now. I mean, show this to someone that doesn't watch anime. They'll likely tell you he looks villain-like, which naturally does come into conflict as his role as a savior for the people. Endeavor's quirk is called Hellflame, in other words, producing and controlling fire, which really suits his personality, perhaps even making him completely fire-resistant. For super moves, you have Flash Fire Fist, which has him raising his fire to the maximum, increasing his power, fire techniques, and speed. You got the Flash Fire Fist Jet Burn, which involves him shooting this explosive blast of fire forward, powerful enough to damage that high-end Nomu. Just notice Endeavor can't spam this due to its body getting heated up. For the Flash Fire Fist Hell Spider, a personal favorite. Tiny weave flames like a web, hell more like a freaking laser. You really have Endeavor slicing through buildings like butter. Talk about taking a page out of Man of Steel. The Flash Fire Fist Hell's Curtain, definitely his most aerial effect display of destructive power. Endeavor covers the area in this comfy, massive blanket of hellfire. This has a massive potential for friendly fire, so get back as soon as possible. Karmic Raz Hellfire Storm. Oh yes, Endeavor activating the Global Warming card, unleashing a fire tornado. Come on dude, isn't this a Pokemon move? Raging Assault Hell Minefield. You got the guy smashing the ground and making waves of fire erupt from down under into this ginormous explosion. Vanishing Fist. Ah yes, the classic fire punch move you would expect from this thick fella. Ignited Arrows. Did someone say fire arrows? It's pretty much the long range version of the previous move. Prominence Bird. Alright, let's go boys, Endeavor's most powerful technique. You got the guy launching this concentrated blast of fire to snap away his target. Not even ashes are going to be left over. For his weakness or limitations, of course avoid the rain. It has been implied this does slow him down, but of course the most severe one. Really him just having to keep track and regulate his body temperature. Fun fact, Endeavor was originally planned to be a teacher at UA just like All Might. You could easily see why this was changed up for the final story. I mean #1 and 2 at the school, the villains would not stand a chance. Next up the juicy one, Dabi. Oh yes, the dark yet obvious truth of this burning family. Literally one of the worst kept secrets in the My Hero Academia story. Yes, this burnt up crispy villain is Shoto's brother, Endeavor's secret son. And I'm curious, if you were surprised, post down below. You got Dabi's name meaning cremation, but his original name is Toya. This being a combination of the characters meaning light and arrow, which is very likely a symbolism for what Endeavor originally meant for him. For Dabi's quirk, you have cremation, really an eerie name, which is a fire quirk just like his father's except stronger, hence the blue flames, which actually did get updated for the anime. Do notice that the power of the flames do increase along with his emotions. I mean, the guy has even been shown to overpower the second hero, Hawks. On the flip side, let me mention the weakness. Similar to Endeavor, but worse. I mean, just look at the guy, he's obviously gotten hurt by his own flames. He's like this fire Pichu. For Dabi's super moves, similar to the last two, including the Flash Fire Fist, the Flash Fire Fist Jet Bird. Notice for this one, he does shoot it out directly without needing to make physical contact. Dabi has actually used it to knock out Shoto, and the very lovely Prominence Bird. You were actually this close to seeing Dabi unleashing this on his father plus little bro. Too bad this got interrupted. Presumably it should be very similar to Endeavor's version, likely amplified due to the hotter flames. Don't be surprised if this really hurts Dabi or just takes him out. But I know you must be wondering, what the hell happened between Dabi and his family? So let's get into the dark truth. Dabi, or should I say Toya, was originally the one Endeavor was training to become the top hero. He didn't inherit his mom's ice quirk, but when he was young, his hair eventually started turning white, which actually resulted in Dabi being more vulnerable to his own flames. Unfortunately, one day he had Toya going overboard with his training. The flames on the hill he was training on went over 2,000 degrees, which is why his family thought Toya perished in a fire while training, that his own body and bones turned into ash. So it looks like Dabi's back for revenge. And here's a fun fact. You know Dabi's black hair? It's been confirmed that Dabi did dye his hair. he actually turned it back white to publicly expose his family. So definitely let me know, what do you think about Dabi being related to Endeavor and Shoto? Before this got confirmed in the manga, I was actually this close to making my own theory video behind this. I actually felt the story made it so obvious that it didn't feel true, which is why I thought instead, for Dabi, there must be a twist. Could that guy have been extended family, maybe a cousin? Or here's a spicier option. Could Dabi have been a brother from a different mother? Oh yes, I'm talking about an Endeavor heating up more than one lady. Although maybe that's too much family drama. Also keeping in mind this is a battle shonen. If they did do something a little bit different, more than likely you would have seen Dabi been a child from an earlier wife, before the current one. Either way, I seriously must ask, it really does make you wonder how Endeavor didn't put 2 and 2 together. Even if Mr. Number 2 was too busy, how about one of the guys from his agency? How did no one else question it once? I mean, did anyone in the story ask a question? Let me know if I missed something. As for Dabi's long-term goal, of course he wants to get revenge on his father, maybe get him killed, or on the rest of the family like Shoto as needed. He originally was targeting Shoto, but then Endeavor became number 1. So now it's time to start destroying his papa's reputation in the eyes of the world. Talk about falling from grace, Endeavor. And let me actually give you something to think about. Can Dabi be redeemed? Is the guy gonna get a redemption arc? I mean, looking at the family, Shoto eventually came around to his father. Could the same be true for Dabi? On the flip side, the dude has already barbecued so many. He's publicly admitted to killing 30 innocent people. So do you think the guy has any hope of being redeemed? Considering what the story is, I wouldn't be all shocked to see something like this in this type of story. Perhaps Dabi sacrificing himself for his papa or younger bro, maybe when fighting the overpowered Shigaraki, or all for one. It would be redemption in a sense, but without having to deal with the remaining baggage of trying to make Dabi seem like a good guy. On the flip side, Shoto is such a My Hero Academia moneymaker. This guy's not gonna die. So how about Endeavor giving up his own life as a way to atone for everything? What ultimately led to the current Dabi villain, which might be more interesting. That way you can see how Dabi comes to terms with that. Would he still give a middle finger to his father's ashes, or do a full 180? And then for you to see the consequences and struggles resulting from that sticky situation. So are you Team Shoto, Endeavor, or Dabi, and why? Post below. I will be liking your early comments, especially if you include a reason. There may be like 2 of you care out there, but I'm falling back to 90s and weight. When I was covering Attack on Titan Season 4, I ballooned to over 100 kilograms. So let's see if I could keep on going down. But anyway, check out my non-spoiler review for the 3rd movie. Turns out the trailers are lying, but about what? Subscribe and ring the bell for juicy anime videos on Fridays. Check out what sucks about living in Japan, and I'll see you guys later.